Well, good afternoon, everybody. After a week away, welcome to this edition of Furman Football Mondays, presented by Bon Secours, by Ingalls, and by BMW. I am Dan Scott, the voice of the Paladins, along with head coach Clay Hendrix. Coming off the bye week, looking ahead to returning to conference play this Saturday at Wofford. A lot about that coming up, a little bit of a look back, and in between, a visit with redshirt junior tight end Ryan Miller. Will go down Ingalls aisle 5 with him, among other things. Clay, how's everything?
Everything's good. Good to have a game this week. Had really productive off week, or bye week. We're off. We practiced 3 days. Got on the road, did a lot of recruiting this weekend, and we'll get back at it. Monday's a late day for us just because of our class schedules, but excited to have another week to go.
Do you, as a head coach in this situation, find yourself in something of a quandary coming off of a loss to Mercer? Would you rather get back out there the next week, or do you think this off week came at a good time for you?
I think it came at a good time. I get asked that a lot. I've played really well after off weeks, and I've not played well after off weeks, and come off big wins, come off losses. So at the end of the day, it's how do you use your week, how productive you are. And we went at it pretty good for 3 days. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday morning. A lot of coaches left town Thursday, and then had a chance to get to a lot of games, visit some schools on Friday to do some recruiting, and we're back in the office yesterday afternoon, and obviously ahead this week just because the extra prep. Even did some prep for some opponents down the road. So we tried to make it a productive week.
The recruiting aspect of it, I would imagine you do a certain amount of it during the season anyway, but being able to take advantage of that off week and getting so many guys out on the road for multiple days.
Well, it's hard to get to games nowadays on Fridays and get back doing the things you need to do before a game. And, as our recruiting umbrella has expanded, I think we had 4 guys on flights on Thursday. So, we're having to cover a little more ground to find the guys that are the right fit for us, and but it was really productive.
Well, let's take a quick look back at the last time out for the Paladins here at Paladin Stadium. It was a 24-3 loss to the Mercer Bears. You'll see some of the recap numbers there on the screen, and it was a struggle, obviously, Clay, for your offense. Your defense, though, in the second half, got their bearings back about them and shut Mercer down, only held them to 3 points in the second half.
Yeah, we had a lot of opportunities, particularly first half. I think we had the ball over 20 minutes. I thought we moved the ball well. We just, at the end of the day, you got to be productive. And you're productive in our game by scoring points. And, 4 turnovers or four interceptions and a kick, block deflected. It's hard to win football games doing that. And but, it's kind of been when we've struggled a little bit, obviously, other than the NC State game, it's been – just leaving points on the field, and we certainly left some opportunities. Had one called back, had another one called out of bounds. The completely changes the game, and I was proud of our defense. We gave up some big plays, way too many third and long conversions. Didn't tackle as well as we'd like. Credit to Mercer there, but they hung in there, played really well the second half, and I'm excited about our season going forward. We certainly addressed some things that we've got to do to get better, and that's our focus.
Take a look at some of the BMW highlights from the Mercer game here a week ago this past Saturday. And there were a few moments, a little success in the option game there. The thing that you mentioned just a moment ago that it turned out to be kind of a tone setter, I guess, is having that touchdown called back on the first possession, having to settle for a field goal.
Yeah, obviously that never helps. We end up getting a field goal, but we've got to be able to respond better to those situations. Obviously, I wasn't a fan of the call that was made, but that didn't matter, and we got 3 points on the board, and again had a number of opportunities to get points, get touchdowns, and just didn't get it done.
Tell me about the progress as we continue to watch some of the highlights of this freshman wide receiver that you're running out there, young Mr. Harris. He's been really, really good.
Well, he really has, and I think he showed up pretty quick when he got here at campus in the summer. And he's a longer probably guy than we have out there. Was a pretty polished route runner, understands the game. when he got here, and it didn't take long for him to show us that, obviously we need to get him involved. We'll continue to try to find ways. I think that group in general is better, a little more depth, a little more size, and I think we'll have to continue to try to find ways to get them to football.
And we're going to be talking to a guy here in just a minute after the commercial break who is your starting tight end, but you're not afraid to flank Ryan Miller out in a wide receiver spot either.
No, I mean, Ryan has wide receiver type skills. Just he runs really well. I mean, obviously, we ask him to do some of the traditional tight end things, particularly blocking wise. And so he's a matchup issue for people. You can watch the tape pretty quickly and tell people know where he is all the time. And we'll continue to try to, get him the ball, maybe try to use him some ways to create opportunities for other guys. But he's been a really productive football player from really the day he stepped on campus.
Did he just tease us with something we might see offensively? I don't know. He's not going to give away any state secrets, I can promise you that. This is Furman Football Monday, brought to you by Bon Secours and Ingalls and BMW. When we come back from the break, we'll visit with the preseason All-American tight end for the Furman Paladins, Ryan Miller. He's up next. We'll go down Ingalls aisle 5 with him in just a moment.
When you look at a diamond, what do you see? A multifaceted stone of remarkable strength, formed under intense pressure to shine brighter than all the rest. Hard edges, clean lines, with a fire inside. When you look at a diamond, what do you see? Ingalls, proud sponsor of Furman Athletics.
A big bow box says a lot about a person. Like they have a mighty hunger, a powerful thirst, and great taste when it comes to pro football teams. Game day and beyond, rep your Carolina Panthers with an official team big bow box.
Make your summer last during the Ford Labor Day sales event. Now is still a great time to buy a Ford. Choose from our F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 44 years, and from the freshest lineup of SUVs in America. It's the Ford Labor Day sales event. Drive one, buy one today. Just announced. Now get 0% financing for 72 months on the 2021 Ford F-150. Learn more at buyfordnow.com and see your Carolina Ford dealer today.
With a full range of BMW X vehicles available, no matter what adventure lies around the corner, there's an X for that. Join BMW's Accelerate into Autumn and receive a $1,000 credit.
Furman Football Monday continues live from Paladin Stadium. I am Dan Scott, the voice of the Paladins, and we're joined in our middle segment here by the preseason All-American tight end Ryan Miller, who is off to a great start. The offense as a whole has kind of struggled a bit, but this guy's numbers and his production have been very, very good so far here in the 2021 fall season. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm well. Thank you for asking.
Yes,
we were
sir.
just talking a moment ago, a lot of players got to go home over this off weekend after practice, but Jackson, Tennessee's, it's a pretty good haul from here to there, almost 8 hours. So
it's about 8 hours, so it's a good drive.
You hung around here, huh?
Yes, sir. I just didn't feel like – I love my parents, but I didn't think it was worth driving all the way there for spending a day and a half. So
they can come see you.
Yes, sir. They come every weekend, so I get to see them at every game. So
did you get a chance to just kind of relax and watch some college football?
Yes, sir, I did. Spent most of it on my couch, so just taking the day off, just relaxing, so it was nice.
Hey, I usually ask this question of coaches, but I'll ask it of you as well. Because you're a player at the Division I level, when you watch another football game, can you watch it as a fan, or do you watch it with the same type of eye you would be if you were watching game film?
You know, kind of both. Growing up, I was an Auburn fan. My dad played baseball there with Bo Jackson. So I'm kind of a fan of them. I like watching them. But I guess when I'm watching those bigger schools, you know, playing like the FBS level, I kind of think like, you know, I can maybe play with those guys. And I can, you know. So that's kind of my mentality on it when I'm watching those games on Saturdays.
So does it take any of the fun out of watching football because you can't really just watch it as a fan?
I mean, I enjoy watching it. You know, I think it's fun for me. So I really like sitting down and, you know, just enjoying my Saturday. So
I hear you. So how would you describe your season to this point?
You know, we started off hot, 2-0, had 2 great games, and then kind of the latter 2 games. I just think, you know, the offense, you know, we haven't played our best game yet, you know, as Coach Hendrix said. We still haven't reached, like, our potential, like, our limit yet. And there really is no limit for us. You know, I said this before, and I'll say it again. This is, like, the most talented team we've had since I've been here. And I think, I mean, we have all the tools to put it together. You know, I think it was good to get this bye week, you know, just kind of recuperate, you know, get our thoughts together. And hopefully we can just have a great week of practice and go out and perform. So
Coach said you went at it pretty hard Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of last week during the bye week. What were those practices like?
I didn't think they were too bad. You know, they were a little bit lighter practices, but I mean, we got some good work in, you know, couldn't just take the whole week off, you know, but glad we got that work in. You know, I think we'll be extra prepared going into Saturday, so I'm excited for it.
As a competitor, and we're getting ready to watch some Ryan Miller highlights, as a competitor, when you lose a game like you did to Mercer, part of you want to get back out there the next week. Was the bye week hard on you?
I mean, a little bit, but I think it was necessary for us. You know, we watched the tape on that game. We just got to see what went wrong. You know, just figure out what we can fix. And I think it was very necessary because, you know, we got a 7-game stretch now. So I think it was very helpful for us to get this good rest this weekend, and hopefully we can go in and dominate this weekend.
I think we're going to see some of your highlights here from this juncture of the season. And they're trying to find different ways to get you the football. And of course, this is the big one, the 83-yard or 87-yard touchdown pass in the season opener against North Carolina A&T.
Yes, sir.
It's not bad. You do all the work, and Hamp got all the credit, right? 4-yard pass, and you ran it the rest of the way. Big touchdown catch against North Carolina State.
Yes,
you
sir.
like playing those games?
I do. Those are my favorite, especially my sophomore year when we played 2 FBS games. You know, we played Georgia State and Virginia Tech, and we had a chance to win both those games. So I really welcome, you know, the big stage, and you know, I love playing those games. They're some of my favorite memories. So,
well, you're getting that opportunity and have been taking advantage of it with the preseason accolades that you've gotten and the production that you put out so far. Are you ready to take a walk down Ingalls Aisle 5?
Yes, sir. I'm ready.
Try to play 5 questions with Ryan Miller here. Like everybody who comes in, he keeps trying to sneak a peek at my questions. If you had, you wouldn't tell me anyway. All right, let's go down Ingalls Aisle 5 with Ryan Miller. Question number 1, and we just saw you on that 87-yard touchdown pass, which was 83 yards of running. Have you always been, quote-unquote, faster than people think?
Yes. You know, typically you think like a white boy, you don't think they're that fast, but I guess I was just gifted with athletic ability, and I'm just able to go out there and do what I can. So
hey, go back to the spring when we had the game against Samford, and you turned that screen pass into the long touchdown. Marcus McMorris, our sideline reporter, lost his mind. He couldn't believe the wheels on Ryan Miller. Question number 2. If you could have a redo for any career moment thus far, what would it be? What mulligan would you take?
Are you speaking in a football term? Or?
Yes. Yeah, if you could do any moment in your career you could do over, what would you do?
God, that's a tough one. If I could redo it. I think going back to the Virginia Tech game, my sophomore year when we had that fumble or the onside kick recovery, I recovered it, and I wish we could redo that again. So maybe we don't get a penalty, and maybe we can have a chance to go score and win the game, I guess. I really can't. I can't think of any moment I would redo, honestly.
That's a good one, because that was a moment that was out of your control. Somebody else did
Yeah.
that on instant replay. Question number 3, what's your hidden talent? What are you good at that nobody knows?
So I'm actually really good at music. I guess you could say I was in the band for 6 years, all throughout middle school and high school. I played the trombone, if you know what that is.
I played trumpet.
You play trumpet?
Yes.
Yeah, so you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I was in the band,
If
I
I
was
know
in choir.
what that is. It's like I'm so ancient I wouldn't know what a trombone is. All right, question number 4, we got to hurry. If you were not a tight end, what position would you play?
Probably wide receiver, just because I got those skills, already built in, but definitely wide receiver.
No desire to be a defensive guy at all?
I played linebacker and defensive end in high school, but I enjoyed the offensive side of the ball.
That was enough, right?
So, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Question number 5. You're from Jackson, Tennessee.
Yes, sir.
I always ask this question. This is one of our staples. Best restaurant, Jackson, Tennessee, and it cannot be a chain restaurant. Where do the locals go?
Ooh, we have this thing called a Hub City Deli. One of my friends, actually, he started up the company. It's called Hub City Brewing, and they have a deli shop, so it's one of my favorite sandwich places to go.
What's your go-to sandwich?
I get the Cuban press. I really like the Cubans.
Cuban press?
Yes, sir. Mustard, turkey, pickles,
The whole 9 yards.
It's very good. Yes, sir.
Sounds
Yep.
great. I had to add that to the list. Ryan Miller, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
That is the redshirt junior tight end, Ryan Miller. You've been down Ingles aisle 5 with him. When we come back from a break, Clay Hendrix will rejoin us. We'll take a look ahead at this weekend at Wofford. Furman Football Mondays brought to you by Bon Secours, Ingles, and BMW.
Make your summer last during the Ford Labor Day sales event. Now is still a great time to buy a Ford. Choose from our F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 44 years. And from the freshest lineup of SUVs in America. It's the Ford Labor Day sales event. Drive one, buy one today. Just announced. Now get 0% financing for 72 months on the 2021 Ford F-150. Learn more at buyfordnow.com and see your Carolina Ford dealer today.
I learned that people are just looking for somebody to listen to them. You can't just start cutting somebody's hair and you're going to be quiet the whole time because you're not going to be in business long.
The South Carolina Education Lottery has provided over $800 million to help students attend technical colleges across our state, investing in a new generation of entrepreneurs, just like James.
Spink's chicken tenders aren't just fast and fresh. They're crispier, crunchier, juicier, saucier, spicier, legendary-ier. Oh, so many options. One easy stop. Spink's, making life easier. Spink's drinks aren't just fast and fizzy. They're fruitier, chewier, bolder, creamier, slushier, bigger, refreshing-ier. Oh, so many options. One easy stop. Spink's, making life easier.
Staying healthy has never been more important. Regular exercise can help both prevent and fight illnesses. At the YMCA of Greenville, we are ready to help you and your family build your strength, endurance, flexibility, confidence, and immunity with personal training, group exercise classes, swim lessons, youth sports, and more. All from a clean, safe, and fun space. Join the Y today to protect your health.
Furman Football Monday continuing. Live here from Paladins Stadium, brought to you by Bon Secours, Ingles, and BMW. Dan Scott, Clay Hendrix is back with us here on the hot seat for the final 10 minutes or so of our get-together today. We're going to start taking a look at this upcoming weekend's matchup with Wofford here in just a moment. But first, one little bit of business to wrap up from the last time out against Mercer, and it's our Bon Secours catch of the game. You may have seen it in the highlight reel in the first part of the show. We'll see it again. It's this really, really nice sideline toe tap job by Josh Harris, Clay.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Hamp did a phenomenal job getting that throw off. He took a pretty good hit after that one. But, Josh just has such confidence in his hands, body control. He just didn't think about catching the football. It just comes so easily for him, and he's made a bunch of those plays.
You have to have that, just an incredible awareness, though. as a wide receiver, concentrating on A, the ball, which is selling out of bounds, so he has to reach there to get it, and B, keeping in the collegiate game 1 foot in bounds. But I think we saw on that catch, he actually kept both feet in bounds.
Yeah, and again, it helps have a little length,
yeah.
Which he does, got long arms. And again, he's just so confident in his ability catching the football that he can focus on some of those other things.
He has been so productive for you here in his true freshman season. Did you guys, obviously you knew he was special when you brought him in here, but did you see him being this productive this early?
I thought he had a chance. I think we felt a little better that group of receivers that we had. But I remember when we had him committed relatively early, and I kept thinking it might be hard to hold on to this guy. But again, he showed pretty quickly. First couple of days we had him here when you watch him catch football, run routes, those kinds of things. And he is a phenomenal young man. He really is. And great teammate, and got a bright future here.
We've talked over the last couple of years about the depth you have at running back, and you really do. But all of a sudden now, when you look at what you've got from a receiver standpoint, we just talked with Ryan Miller, who is a preseason All-American. That speaks for itself. You're seeing what this youngster Josh Harris is doing, Ryan DeLuca, and you can go right on down the line. DeJuan Bell has been good for you this year. You've got a nice group of guys in that spot. More production, I think, or possible production anyway, than we've seen here in the last couple of years.
Yeah, I agree. We moved Noah Henderson to tight end to back up Ryan, which has been a good move for him and for us. Zach Peterson, DeJuan Bell, Luke Shiflett, I think you'll start seeing him out there a little bit more as well. I mean, that's where we wanted to play him. He's a bigger body. Again, really good skills. And again, we're going to try to continue to find ways to get him the ball.
Luke's been a guy that you've moved back and forth a little bit since he's been here.
Yeah, I mean, I think the plan originally, Luke, when he came to us was, there was a shot at the quarterback. We felt like in the long run, the best thing for him was the receiver. He, made that move, did really well, and has overcome a couple of injuries, had a couple of serious injuries. And then certainly with the quarterback, the depth issues at quarterback, we moved him back there, at the start of this year, and he's continued to do some of both. But I'd certainly like to get him on the field a little bit more at receiver.
Speaking of injuries, as we get set to take a look at our conference standings, how are we from a health standpoint? How is the bye week helping in getting guys healthy?
Well, we were in pretty good shape coming into the bye week, and we went at it. Really had 2 really physical practices, both Tuesday and Wednesday, one a little bit lighter on Thursday. But, I think at this time of year, everybody's a little banged up, but I'm pretty pleased where we are.
Well, where we are right now, we see on the SoCon standings brought to you by Ingles in a game against Wofford this week in which both of these teams are looking for their first win in conference play. Of course, we have just played one. Wofford is 0-2 in league play. Going into their place, going into that environment in this upstate rivalry and the oldest rivalry in the South, Hunter Reed, am I correct on that? Continuous rivalry in the South in college football. Both these teams need a win. This has a chance to stack up to be a pretty intense matchup, I would think.
Well, it does, and I think I'd be shocked if anybody can go through this league without a loss. Mm-hmm. They had every opportunity to win their last 2 games, and they didn't. So we'll head Spartanburg play. I know it's kind of interesting. This is our 5th trip as a staff, and it's our 5th game with them. It's our 4th trip to Spartanburg. I hadn't quite figured that one out yet, but no, it's an easy trip for us. We'll treat it like a home game and get them to go over there Saturday, and they've been really close. So it'll be, all those games have been good games. It'll be a big challenge for us.
So what do you see from them from a scouting standpoint?
Well, just like always, I mean, they want to run the football. I think their backs are excellent. I think the running backs are the strength of their football team. Mm-hmm. They want to run the football, and then they do a really good job defensively. Coach Conklin, kind of hangs his hat defensively, and they're playing a lot of people over there, and hadn't played them now in 2 years, so it'll be a fun day.
You can see from the tail of the tape, they were running it for 182 yards a game, throwing it for 137 and averaging 19.5 points a game. That 137 passing yards in a lot of years, that might be actually 2 games worth of passing yards for a Wofford team. So are they throwing it a little more, or are they having more success when they throw it, from what you've seen?
I think they're throwing a little bit more, and they've played 2 quarterbacks. I think they maybe have had I think both of the guys have started games, so they played 2 guys. They're both athletic, so they can certainly hurt you running it. But I think you see a concerted effort to throw the football a little bit more, big up front offensively. And, they've always had some pretty good skill players. And, again, I think the strength of their teams are running backs. Big guys have played a lot of football, are not easy to tackle. And then there's always an option element to what they do as well. So they continue to make you defend the whole field.
So we've talked pretty much all season about how good your defense has been and how deep your defense is. This will be another big test for Dwayne Vaughn and company.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's how it's going to be about every week. Again, I think our league's as good as I've seen it in a long time. Obviously, a lot better football teams offensively. Mm-hmm. I think largely because a lot of people had quarterbacks coming back. And what's unique about our league is you see something different every single week, and it's really, really what's totally different. And, we've been challenged certainly with our out-of-conference schedule. They have too as well. So, again, can we continue to improve? And I think for us, offensively, can we do some things to help our defense? And, again, I think we're close to playing pretty well offensively. We just got to find a way to, finish drives, get some more explosion plays, and take advantage of which I think we have some talent.
Well, no time like the present, right?
Absolutely.
Before we go, we've got about 45 seconds. Is there a more diverse league in America when it comes to seeing the different styles of offenses that you see? You mentioned that you see something different almost every week in the Southern Conference.
That's probably a good way to put it, because it really is. I know, you see triple option, you see wing T, you see traditional spread. East Tennessee, I've been watching their game. They're as pro style, pound it as you really see. And you got the Sanford group that, may throw it 75 times. So it really is a challenge to be a defense coordinator in this league.
Well, that's what you're up for, challenges, right? That's why you do what you do.
No question.
Furman and Wofford kick off at 1:30 on Saturday at Gibbs Stadium in Spartanburg. From a radio standpoint, we'll have the Pepsi Countdown to Kickoff on ESPN Upstate beginning at noon, and look forward to having you there. You can actually listen in the stadium on the Spartanburg signal, 97.1 FM. Clay, thank you so much.
Great to be with you.
This has been Furman Football Monday, brought to you by Bon Secours, by Ingalls, and by BMW. Again, we look forward to seeing you in Spartanburg on Saturday, and then back here next Monday for another edition of Furman Football Monday. For Clay Hendrix, Byron Apt, and all of our crew, I'm Dan Scott, saying God bless you, and so long, everybody.